Yeah, respect to everyone. Yeah, man, we're gonna get straight into this. All right, so yeah, man, get comfortable if you want to. 25 minutes, maybe a bit longer. I might interrupt here and there, but yeah, respect you people. Let's go.
You should dress up as him when you see her.
So we see this darkness. It involves leaders in academia, in science, in industry, in politics.
Another just insane detail that has emerged here is that Lawrence Krauss was trying to get Epstein and Rogan to meet together.
Yeah, I'm in the files for not going, because Jeffrey Epstein was trying to meet with me.
It's hard to come up with a language to express what we're observing in the world other than the language of theology.
I hadn't seen any real evidence for it until these files. And now I'm like, oh, this is demonic. This is clearly demonic.
To people who have been on the train of world's run by satanic pedophiles and like that, well, now you're seeing some of it.
The question is not good or bad. The question is what's natural.
There's definitely a parental advisory on this video. If you're watching this with your children, I do not recommend that you do that. I want to warn you because I know a lot of the content on this channel is family friendly. This video will not be family friendly.
All right, people, you hear that, yeah? So if you've got any children about, please remove them. All right? That's what it's about, people. Yeah, all good? All right, respect. Let's go.
Weinstein's decades-long chain of alleged harassment was a dirty Hollywood secret.
I can tell you that the number one problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh, yeah. I was surrounded by them. They would pull away the better-looking younger kids and keep them for their own after-party, and it would turn into a pool party. And then they'd have their rules. Oh, there's no swimsuits on in the pool.
In a new interview with the Sunday Times, the former child star alleges that pedophilia has been a real issue in Hollywood. He tells the publication, quote, "There are a lot of vipers in this industry, people who only have their own interests in mind. What bums me about these situations is that the victims can't speak as loudly as the people in power."
And it's not just Hollywood, it's also the music industry. You've got people like P. Diddy, who obviously everyone now knows about that.
Jay-Z, Diddy, and others. Primarily Jay-Z. Jay-Z is my top one. I was asked why don't I like Jay-Z, and on my list was the fact that when I was 16, I heard him put out a song, or I guess the song was already out, I don't know, saying 666, unalive Jesus, like what? After that, he called himself Ove, a disrespect to Jehovah. He then opened a museum about himself, mimicking the pages of the Bible, then created a movie disrespecting Jesus again, like he's like Jesus' biggest hater. Okay, he's been...
Yes, people. Nah, man, can't disrespect Jesus, you know. Not Christ. Nah, don't do that. Respect people. So yeah, man, the truth's coming out. I think we all know this. The truth is coming out.
Demonic since forever. Made a movie about Jesus being a magician and not really the Son of God. And I can go on.
It's all a joke. We're just having fun. It's art. It's comedy. It's entertainment. There's nothing to see here.
Jay-Z was also implicated after being present during an abduction of a victim, where the victim was assaulted by Harvey Weinstein while Jay-Z watched it happen. The account says later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, Jay-Z, while Weinstein had inserted his fingers into the victim. After this point in the account, the document describes the individual regaining consciousness in a room with multiple high-profile figures present.
I was 14 and he put that song out about unaliving Jesus, like he's been demonic.
I mean, Jay-Z even created merch that says, "Do what thou wilt" across the chest, which references Aleister Crowley. So it's not that hidden. You also have people like Cat Williams, who was ringing the bell about this over a year ago.
There are spiritual things going on in the world. There are things that are bigger than just coincidence, and a ritual is something that you do over and over and over again a certain way.
Respect people. So I think a lot of us can agree that there is dark stuff going on. Been going on for a while. people are doing witchcraft. They are messing with demons. You know, you can just look around you. Do you know what I'm saying? Some people even they'll be wearing the clothing. They're dressed like it. You can see it's around us, people, man. The truth's there. It's right in front of you.
Then more recently, you have really weird instances like this one where Roseanne Barr is talking to Tucker Carlson, of all people, and she says this.
And they're just trying to protect themselves because when that list comes out and all the other stuff is declassed, you know, it's going to be like worse than the emperor naked. It's going to be the emperor went to Epstein Island and...
Don't get it twisted, people. Okay? A lot of these are in the club.
8 people. And you know they do that. You know babies, that is not...
Brits born before 1980 with no life insurance may be eligible for this. So if you meet these...
That is not... It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats, not just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires. And everybody still thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. They're full-on vampires. They love the taste of human flesh and they drink human...
Nah, don't make them suck your blood. Watch them. Don't make them suck your blood. Them a vampire. Them a vampire. Them a murderer. Them a vampire. Don't make them suck your blood. Watch them. Don't make them suck your blood. Right. Respect people.
Blood. They do, Tucker. Stop staring at me like that.
You're freaking me out, man. Because you spent your life in the entertainment business, so I think you have some authority on this.
Please wake up, even those who are pretending to be asleep, with the irrefutable truth of what the worst people on this planet are really up to. They are really up to that.
And listen to their response to this at the time.
Bro, take your medicine. Look, I don't know how many of you guys have experience with this, but it's a very, very common thing. Somebody who has a severe psychological issue, like severe bipolar disorder or paranoid schizophrenia, one of the really bad ones, usually they really hate taking their medicine because they say it takes away the thing that makes them feel special.
But now listen to some of the things that are being said post this most recent Epstein Files drop, and listen to how the conversation, the tone, the openness, and really everything is changing right now in culture as it comes to this particular topic.
If there was ever a time where people could step back and say, you know, even some of the people who didn't have any real evidence to point to, but who were making what we would have termed crazy claims, even 2 years ago, but let alone 9-10 years ago. Even if they didn't have real evidence and it was just like a great guess, I don't care. I have to look at them and I have to say, hey, if I shut down X, Y, or Z, I'm just, you know, there's a laundry list here, so I'd be listening to them all day. If I shut down this, or that in the past, I can't even say yet that you're right, but now I can't say you're wrong. So my apologies. Seriously. Like, a lot of people out there, especially those of you listening who are extremely, if you view yourself as like a level-headed, you know, kind of let's just see what the facts are here person, like, you gotta give that to people who have been on the train of, like, you know, world's run by satanic pedophiles and like that. Like, well, now you're seeing some of it. Now you're...
If someone was cheating on you and then you ask them, are you cheating on me? Most likely they're gonna deny it. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's what it is with the world. People be doing stuff, okay? And if they don't want you to know that they're doing it, even if you ask them, they're not gonna tell you, are they? So that's where we are. All right, we've got amongst us, there's some of us, some amongst us that are deceiving each other. Facts.
Seeing that this, like, supra government involves people who may or may not be into those kinds of things. Emphasis on may. Emphasis on are, actually.
Now, there's other guys like Nick Kaswani, Blair White, and a ton of other YouTubers going into the details of the files and showing all of what has now come out. I'm not going to go beyond a certain line in this video because some of it is just too dark and too graphic, but I do want to give some sampling of the kind of activity that we're talking about in order to make the point of this video clear.
We have this woman who sends a photo of her baby to Epstein and says, "Your generosity has no limits," after receiving an unbelievable sum in her bank account, and that she's never seen such a number in her bank account. Harvard professor Martin Nowick emailed Ghislaine in 2002 to thank her for her hospitality, and out of nowhere said, "I'm so happy I didn't kill anybody," referring to their visit. I'm glad you didn't either, but why was that ever on the table, right?
The first shocking piece of evidence is the name of Epstein's bank account, which goes by the name Baal, the demon that the Bible mentions that demanded human sacrifice. The document states, "Please wire $11,438 from the above account to Baal, name Wachovia Bank, N.A." A very weird title to call your bank account, but given the fact that these are child monsters and children were sacrificed to this demon, it makes sense. The next document shows that Epstein was receiving torture videos from a redacted contact. "Where are you? Are you okay?" I loved the torture video. Just in that document alone raises so many concerning questions. Prince Andrew also tortured a victim and proceeded to have the victim unalive right after, with even photo evidence of the night that it happened. The document says, back in the 90s, Ghislaine Maxwell recruited a girl for a modeling career. Instead of modeling, she was sold as a slave for sex and torture. Prince Andrew was an accessory to her death as he her and me to force her murder. That's just absolutely disgusting.
Nicki Minaj posted, just as the Epstein files were being released, with this tweet: "Your favorite artists have been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate them and kill them as a form of a blood sacrifice to their god. You see, when their master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood, however the jig is up." People...
Don't get it twisted. Nicki Minaj, her videos, some of them, they're satanic. You look through, don't look through them. Don't. But some of her, the previous videos that she's done, there's satanic stuff in there. So it's the kettle calling the pot black, innit? Let's continue, people.
Love to disregard this stuff. I think part of it is it's just too painful to hear. And then, of course, if you're an atheist or agnostic, you don't really have a lens to see this from. If you're a Christian who really knows your Bible, you know this is all biblical. This is all laid out.
Joe Rogan, the most popular podcast in the world, has had on multiple guests over the past several weeks filling out details around this same subject matter.
Yeah, there's all sorts. Did you see the thing in the Epstein files?
Oh, yeah. Like those
ordered
Epstein files. In fact, I can't believe that, like, everybody just kind of like, oh, okay, and they're moving on with their lives. What?
Epstein files. Some say that they could be a distraction. You know? Could be a distraction.
People are waiting for a condensed version that lays out all the facts. It's the people that are like really interested in reading all the emails.
I think the Luciferians cast a spell on the world. And,
for real?
Oh, absolutely. It's just like how vampires can't go into a house unless they're invited. They tell you, what's going on ahead of time. It's predictive programming. And once you say it out loud and you put it out there and make fun of it and do a little skit, like Stephen Colbert did a little skit on his show where, oh, here's a baby. I'm going to take this baby and I'm going to give it to Moloch. And he goes into like a cloudy red, furnace and hands the baby over. And he's, oh, the baby's going to be fine. And they make a joke about it and the audience laughs. Okay, we're all now conditioned to it. And in fact, Mundus Vult Decipi.
Yeah, people laugh. Yeah, they're laughing at their own destruction. People are laughing at their own destruction. Comedians do it the best. They'll tell you something. They'll say, you're going to get run over when you leave here. Or something like that. And then the people, just laughing about it. You know what I'm saying? And go outside, boom, you got hit by the car. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Ergo decipiatur. It's a long-known concept. And so in Latin, mundus vult decepi means the world wants to be deceived. Ergo decipiatur. Therefore, it is. We want to be deceived. We don't want to believe the horrors that are actually behind the veil.
Well, I think with the Epstein files, people are, because of these emails that have been released, people are just now starting to be aware of the bizarreness of the code and some of the things, like the facts. Like, let's just talk about the sulfuric acid. So this was like right after he was indicted in 2000.
Yeah, I got to get rid of some bodies.
Yeah.
I got
How much did
dissolve up some bodies.
What did it say? He ordered 6 drums of sulfuric acid right away. Are you really worried about your reverse osmosis plant right after you get indicted? I feel like you're going to jail.
It looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck. It's probably a duck.
It's probably a duck.
Everyone's asking how I could afford this brand new home security system. You wouldn't believe it if you saw the price I paid.
You're going to jail.
It looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck. It's probably a duck.
It's probably a duck. 330 gallons of sulfuric acid.
It says this was the only documented purchase order for it.
Well, I just don't think we really knew until we saw those files come out.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, well, there's no denying it now. My position on it is completely shifted. I thought there's probably some really sick people that have an appetite for that, but I hadn't seen any real evidence for it until these files. And now I'm like, oh, this is demonic. This is clearly demonic.
Okay, so thank you for saying that. I'm somebody who is...
They gather at Bohemian Grove where they bow down before the owl. See, the owl is wise and sees through the darkest of nights. Like the one on your dollar, the one in the corner, the top right. See, it ain't hard to understand. These people were never meant for us.
Raised a Christian and went to Bible school and that kind of stuff as a kid. And youth groups, and then growing up in Central Coast of California, let's say, veered in different ways. But the experiences that we've encountered over the last half a dozen years, it's hard to come up with a language to express what we're observing in the world other than the language of theology.
There's these references to pizza, a lot of references to pizza that are 100% some kind of a code.
Yeah.
And then it brings you back to Pizzagate.
Yeah.
And which was widely dismissed. Everybody's like, oh, this is a bunch of kooks. Here it is.
Yeah, people, so if you don't know, for the people who don't know, pizza is a reference to codes for paedophilia, okay? And then your toppings, whatever you get on the cheese, they say cheese or pepperoni or something, that's codes for whatever, maybe the amount or color or, okay, or how they want it.
She said she felt God's presence next to her when she was in bed. She knows that Jesus watches over her and he helped save her life. And then he writes, whoops. And then in response, Jeffrey Epstein says, you should dress up as him when you see her.
It is dark. So we see this darkness. It involves leaders in academia, in science, in industry, in politics.
Another just insane detail that has emerged here is that Lawrence Krauss was trying to get Epstein and Rogan to meet together.
Yeah, I'm in the files for not going, because Jeffrey Epstein was trying to meet with me.
But he writes here in this email, sorry about Rogan so far. He seems more timid than I would have thought. This is from Krauss to Epstein regarding Rogan.
One of my guests was trying to get me to meet him. I was like, are you high? Like, what the are you talking about?
For what reason would you? What would be...
If I was a guy who was like sucking up to the rich and powerful.
And what is so ironic about this to me is that this is the same Lawrence Krauss who, like, fairly recently debated Michael Jones of Inspiring Philosophy. And I kid you not, the title of this debate was Christianity or Secular Ethics, which is best for society. You cannot make this stuff up.
A lion takes over a rival pride,
and kills the cubs of the rival he dethroned, and impregnates to secure his own bloodline. Does this mean that it's okay for a stepfather to murder his stepson and that kid's mom in your worldview?
Okay, what he said is a lion takes over a pride and kills the other and takes over. Is it okay in that worldview?
Look, okay, you know.
I hate to do this. I just want to also mention, I got to hold you guys to about 60 seconds.
The question is not good or bad. The question is what's natural.
There's already hundreds of, probably thousands of victims who tell detailed, horrific, awful stories about ways that they were abused in the context of satanic ritual abuse.
But like a global satanic religion?
Oh yeah, dude. Have you gone down the satanic ritual abuse rabbit hole? It is so dark. So what I'm referring to specifically are survivors giving survivor testimony on video, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. Like, not like one guy came forward and said this, like, there are whole support networks for these people. Like, there are psychologists that specialize in SRA victims, satanic ritual abuse. And because you have to, like, treat them in a whole different way than a regular abuse victim, because the level of depravity and disgusting, like, literal torture of children, like, literal... Think about Jeffrey Epstein's clientele, right? We know that that's real.
You think Bill Clinton wanted to pay to watch it?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, think this through as a thought experiment.
Okay.
If you have everything in the world, and like lust and power, like addictions, anyone who's ever experienced any form of addiction, whether it's like to alcohol or to Adderall or to like porn or heroin, all those addictions kind of play on this sort of like this feeling, this like desire of like, oh, that just felt so good, and like whatever else is wrong in the world, like that's not wrong and that's good. And they all kind of play on these same things. And powerful people, power, money, that lust for power, when turned towards the lusting and the greed, the darker side of power and money is inevitably an addiction as well in a lot of ways.
Yes, people. So it seems that, so what we class as a normal person, all the stuff that we don't like the evil, the stuff that we call evil, they get a kick from, basically. So it's like the opposite of a normal person. Yeah? That's what they get. They get the kick out of hurting people, you know? Christ, he brings life. Yeah? So that's man. Yeah? Wants to help life, yeah? Is life. Okay? They're death. They like death. Okay? They like death of us.